everybody, and welcome to episode 2 of Hornfessions. Yeah.
Yes.
First of all, we forgot to give a shout out to the guy who actually put this logo together. So thank you, Ruben, for putting that together. I should have done that in episode 1, but I didn't. Episode 1 was so long ago. I mean, it's such a coincidence that we're wearing the same clothes.
Yes.
For episode 2.
Just for the fans, just to see. Oh, have you seen that in the first 2 episodes they were just
wore the same clothes? Yeah.
Forgive me, boys, for I have sinned.
You're an idiot.
Say the size and say the shape.
Unlike you dirty pervert.
I know about redemption. I would look for revenge.
They ate the lasagna.
They're very weird.
Hornfessions, the Horny Confessions podcast.
For those who haven't seen the first episode, you should check it out. People anonymously write us their sex confessions.
Oh, yes, we should talk about what the show is about. Yes.
Not
Luca,
even sex. Most of the times,
Luca.
they just do things with their private parts. They don't even meet. Like, they go to towards ice cream, vegetables. They don't even.
There was a lot of food, wasn't there, actually?
A lot
in the
of
last
food and
show?
not much of intricate. Like, we are 8 billions in the world, but honestly, if we keep doing it with ice cream, I think the problem of overpopulation will be solved.
So basically, the Hornfessions, the idea of this is people send in their horniest confessions and we judge them. And we decide where they sit on the spectrum from weird sexual deviants like Jimmy Savile, that's like on one end of the spectrum,
worst,
to beautiful, wonderful sexual role models like Carol Vorderman.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know if Carol Vorderman would consider herself to be a sexual role model, but we do.
Yes,
So,
I don't think she can sue us for that.
I mean,
Or
I don't know.
we-
You're a hero to us. That's
Yes, so
basically
it's-
what we're
yeah,
saying.
it's all positive.
So, how are you, Luca,
I'm-
since the last time we spoke?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm just a little bit shaken by the food issue, but no, I'm ready for the new.
You're ready for the new
Yes, I
confessions,
can't
okay.
wait. Can we repeat anonymous?
Yes,
We
they are
don't know-
anonymous,
we don't know
unless
what-
you don't want them to be anonymous. You can send us an email and sign the email if you want. You can say, hello, my name is Colin, and I like shitting on Mazda 323s. I don't know. but you can also do it.
There's so many cameras on the bus. I don't think that stays anonymous for long. But at this point, I'm just hoping for some normal, not normal. There's no normal. There's not
Exactly.
normal.
There's
Let's
nothing
say
that's not normal, Luca.
Catholic, but let's say I hope for some confession that involves actual sex. Like an
Okay, well,
intervention
that's
between
what
people.
Luca is after. Sex, proper sex stories.
No, I don't
Proper-
judge you. Don't.
proper
I mean,
sex story.
I mean, if you love to do
Yeah, whatever.
pee in a car, that's
becoming a
perfectly
blue.
fine.
He's becoming a very blue comedian, Luca. I can
No,
feel
just
I can
in-
feel
in
you
the
evolving.
No, just as a Catholic, we always wanted to see
Sex.
happening. So I find amazing that there are people who might have sex but then choose to do something else. Like, let's have a pee in a car.
Actually, as an Italian, I don't know if I've ever spoken to an Italian about this. You know Colpo Grosso, right? You
Oh,
know the
yes, I
theme.
know.
Where does it sit in your, like, culturally? Where does it... Because just a little bit of context here. So I grew up in Malta, which is a tiny island south of Italy. We would get lots of Italian TV. And Colpo Grosso, for people of my age, growing up in a very Catholic country, it was like manna from heaven. You know, people actually had a device called a rotator that they would use to turn their aerial so that it would be able to get. There was a station called Teleblea, which was also
Yes,
used to
there
be-
was.
and to be able to get Colpo Grosso. As an Italian, was it that important to you growing up?
It kind of. Well, it was a show where you would see a lot of female nipples. And
Yeah,
that's all you
the
need to
point
know
of the
about
show
Italy.
was like housewives playing strip poker. That was
Yes,
it.
and
Like
also there were ballerinas, also
the dancers,
They were,
Chin.
Yes.
Do you ever think of Colpo Grosso in your daily life?
No, we don't.
I think about it about once a week. Right, shall we start with the confession? So, Michelle, can you send me confession number 1, please?
Hornfessions, the Horny Confessions podcast.
My girlfriend and I were both virgins, but we
cute.
were happy to do other stuff. We were in the car, making out, again, another car one, when my girlfriend grabbed my hands and started guiding my fingers into her promised land. Okay, this...
That's very religious couple.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
tell
yeah,
they are
yeah.
virgin and they aim for the promised land. So
what's
that's, I kind of like at this point, okay, Old Testament, but
At one point, she jolted on my fingers and gave out a gasp I'd never heard before. So I stopped, but she almost punched me. She told me I had to keep going till she was ready, or, and I quote, she would kill me.
that's bad.
That is
Scene.
bad. That
That's
is a sin.
scene, I would say.
Finally, she gave out a scream and stopped. We were both panting. This sounds like a proper confession that people used to write into magazines, like a proper porn confession. We were both panting, and then we looked down on the seat, and on the floor of the car, I saw what looked like a dark puddle. I turned the lights on, and we were shocked. It was blood, Luca. So much blood, it looked like, and this is what they go with, we had killed a rabbit. I mean,
How do you even know how much blood? Do you kill rabbit?
killed a
Because
rabbit.
killing a rabbit just for fun is like something that Ted Bundy would do, but okay.
well, it looked like they'd killed a rabbit. We both panicked. I mean, what the fuck was this? It took us about half an hour to realise that I had broken her hymen. I wasn't sure whether to apologise or high-five her. We had to make a plan because her white skirt was full of blood. The issue was that her mum was always awake waiting for her when she got home. So there was no way she could go into the house with a skirt full of blood. Fair enough. So being the gentleman that I am, I offered her my jeans. That's a nice thing. This meant I had to drive home in my boxer shorts. No big deal, except for the fact that I got stopped at a police roadblock. Luca, you ever been stopped at a police roadblock?
Yes.
Again, this is also quite a Mediterranean
Yeah,
thing, I
yes.
think, yeah.
A few times.
Yeah, they so at least when I was growing up, they'd stop people looking for drugs and stuff. I used to get stopped quite a lot. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, so this person got stopped on a roadblock. My heart stopped as a huge soldier with a gun told me to park on the side of the road. He then looked into the car with his torch and saw a nervous, twitching 19-year-old in boxer shorts, a backseat full of blood, and a discarded skirt. What do you think this soldier? So he's an official, right? He's a soldier. His job is to uphold the law. He looks into a car. He sees a 19-year-old in boxer shorts, a backseat full of blood, and a skirt. What do you think the soldier did?
Maybe he thought, okay, I got the serial killer. I'm gonna be get a promotion. That's it. No more patrol in the night.
Not according to this. The soldier started shaking with laughter. Wow.
Taking crime seriously.
He called his supervisor over and they started laughing too. They realised, apparently, this must be something that happens quite often. I told them the story. They called my girlfriend to confirm. And
Okay, at least they checked.
at least they checked. At least they checked. So yeah. And then they let me go, just shaking their heads. I managed to get home and sneak into my bedroom. Next morning, I woke up early and I drove around Malta. Okay, this is a Maltese story. I drove around Malta looking for replacement seat covers for my mum's car. Oh, it wasn't even his car.
It's always if it's a Mediterranean country, it's always
his
their
mum's
car.
car.
Of course, it is. You can't have.
It's his mum's
own-
car.
That's this poor lady.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we've had blood and piss in mum's car so far. And so I woke up early, drove around Malta looking for replacement car seats. When I found some, I got the old covers and I got my girlfriend's bloody skirt and I buried them in a farmer's field. I still don't know why I did that. Does this make me a bad person? Luca, does that make him a bad person?
So-
Take it away.
Not at all, although
Not at
this
all.
might sound like he's creating an alibi for some sort, like he buried some girl at some point in some farmer's field.
Yes, yeah, that's
and
what
he's
it
making
sounds
up
like.
this story of if there's a skirt full of blood, because I think blood can be easily washed in a washing machine.
I
and not,
think so. I mean, maybe if you're a 19-year-old boy, you're panicking,
but
right?
there's an interesting. I knew it was a Mediterranean country and a Catholic one because they are 19 years old and they have no idea about being virgin. Yes. Oh my. Oh, there's blood. So they are
Yeah.
horny as rabbits. Not the one
They
they
killed
killed.
the rabbit.
Not the one they kill. But I have no clue. Oh, what is this? And so again, at least this time there was no vegetable involved.
If you had to dispose of a skirt full of blood, Luca, have you ever had to do this before?
No, I said before, I'm a nice person, never had to deal with blood. So I cut my finger once, there was a bit of blood on the handkerchief, and I put it in the washing machine. And
And it was fine.
yes.
That's all he had to do. Also, the fact that the soldier just burst out laughing and believed him straight.
Oh, yeah.
Because also, I mean, yes, he called the girlfriend. That might have been, he could have set that up, right?
Let's call a lady. Oh, you see, are you the girlfriend? Yeah, it's me. Okay, this checks out for us. It's not.
Yeah, it's not foolproof.
So there's still the chance that the person who writes is the actual killer that makes it
It's an
exciting.
actual murderer.
Who really killed someone, but then come up with this idea.
And then thought, you know what, I'm going to get it off my chest by sending an email to
to Hornfessions.
And that way I get it all off my chest. Imagine you're a priest, he comes to you, he's on his knees, he's telling you, Father, what should I do? You tell him.
It's so I would say go back nighttime and take that's romantic, maybe in a Halloween and take the skirt back.
Take the skirt back. If you're a farmer and you find the skirt, what do? You find the bloody skirt.
You burn it somewhere.
You masturbate it.
But no, you don't. My only concern is, what if in Malta a girl disappears, and then police sees this skirt, and then they have to, dig all the farmers' fields, so he loses all the crops for a year just because a guy.
That was very selfish.
Who took a girl's virginity, really took it, like grabbed it with
his hands.
Finger. Yes. But at least this time it was almost a proper sin.
Almost a proper sin. We're getting better.
Good,
We're getting better.
Good with that.
So sin, he's a sinner.
Yeah, that's a sin, but he can marry her. So that
he can marry her.
Fine.
So you need to marry this woman, and you need to at least support the farmer. So
yes,
at least
buy all the crops you can from.
You buy as many vegetables as you can.
Yeah.
Just in general, just support the farming industry.
Yes, that's always good. My boyfriend and I were having sex. Oh, you see, they
Here we go. Now we're into it. Here we go.
In a forest.
In a
one
forest.
afternoon. Okay, like Adam and Eve. I like it. It's
nice,
the beginning.
nice,
Genesis.
natural.
It's fine.
Yes, exactly.
It was our anniversary, so it's romantic.
Even nicer.
Okay.
Underneath the orange trees.
So we took the day off for a picnic. It was very romantic. All good. They should be married, but I don't. Yeah, that's fine.
Did she say boyfriend or husband?
A boyfriend, but okay. Anniversary, so it's a long-term relationship.
Maybe
they're getting there. That's fine. That's fine. A bit of nature.
Luca is starting to approve.
Until we finished, and I noticed a whole group of scouts just staring at us.
Scouts?
Yeah, scouts. We have no clue for how long they were there for. Two of them had inhalers, I think I might have inhalers. I think I might have caused a 12-year-old, so they were 12-year-old to have an asthma attack. Can you forgive me? Of course. I mean,
it's like an episode of Hey Dougie.
If anything. Do you think scouts, they got badges for different skills? So they all patrol or graduated in dogging.
Dogging. He's your doggy.
So first of all, I'm worried about the leader. There isn't an adult responsible adult and slightly more adult leader. So they should have maybe he was into. But can you forgive me? I would say, if anything, what a wonderful lesson for the asthmatic kid. You shall not look at sex when it's not yours.
Exactly. What a wonderful...
Sounds like a wonderful punishment. I was in the forest, but, temptation that can happen even behind trees. You go outside the depraved city, you try to connect to God, and then
Gomorrah.
Maybe you hear sounds. Oh, this must be some weird animal. Let's have a look at the animal. And then, you see a scene committed because they're not married.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to see.
You're not supposed to be watching.
And so you shouldn't watch. You should turn
around.
Otherwise, as a good punishment, your lungs stopped working and you almost die. What a beautiful story. What a wonderful lesson.
Yeah, I've got a feeling this confession is partially somebody boasting.
You think it wasn't a whole group of scouts?
No, I think it was a whole group of scouts, but I think the person who sent the confession, they don't sound very contrite. They don't sound like they really want forgiveness. It sounds like they want to boast about their...
They try to do again. They follow
they
the
want people to be like,
scouts. Maybe they cannot be as happy if there's just the two of them now. They just want someone to look at them.
They need 12-year-old asthmatic boys to be watching them. So knowing all this now, knowing that God has kind of dealt them punishment himself, or herself, depending on what you think of God.
We don't want to misgender God.
Exactly, we're not going to misgender God. So seeing as the punishment has already been kind of given out, do these people now, do we forgive them? Where do they sit on the scale?
Well, in the nature, I would say totally Winnie the Pooh and Miss Piggy.
Yes, okay, so still...
They should have got married as a Catholic point of view, but and they shouldn't have used, maybe did they use condom? We don't know.
I don't know.
Having said that, I don't want kids, so I'm not exactly a great Catholic, but they should, I like to give other people...
So they're not allowed to use, as long as if they did it in the forest without condoms, then they're fine. Yeah. People used to use banana skins in ancient times. People used
Banana
skins. Like they I've read this. They try to create condoms out of.
But how ancient? Because we got banana off, I think, only after the Columbus, or maybe in those countries.
In those places.
I thought in Europe.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. In those places, yeah. We're not a Eurocentric podcast.
They must work very well because Maya got extinct even before the arrival of Columbus.
Exactly.
So that's
exactly. So there you
powerful,
go. So there you go. So
contraceptive.
they could use, as long as they're not using those as contraceptives or any contraceptives, then they're fine, and we forgive them.
Oh yes, of course.
We
of course,
forgive them.
And then the boy survived, so
Everyone
teaches him a lesson.
So happy days. So confession number 2 solved.
Yes,
Solved.
it.
Lovely.
And it was almost it was a real sex. It was a real sex.
There was real sex.
I'm very pleased with that, and no food involved.
Luca, this is what Luca wants, everybody. So please send in confessions with real hardcore.
I don't judge you. You
sex.
can do whatever you want, but sometimes it's refreshing to see that someone is having
real
sex.
hardcore sex. That's what Luca is after.
No, it's just nice to
front
see
of
that some
children.
people can resist the urge to have sex with a pumpkin and rather go with, say, either a woman or a man. That's
what we
how
want.
new, how
That's what we're
transgressive. I like this
That's what
bold
we're
choice.
after. That's what we're after.
Hornfessions, the Horny Confessions podcast.
I have a fantasy of joining the Mile High Club, Luca.
Is the Mile High Club the one when you have sex on
On an airplane.
airplane?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
When the airplane is flying, not like...
Yeah, not just on the runway. No.
Yeah,
I have a fantasy of joining I've had the fantasy of joining the Mile High Club for years, and it looks like my girlfriend is up for it.
Good. I mean, well, yeah.
I need to prepare and make sure all goes perfectly. Have you boys got any tips? Any help would be greatly appreciated. Ever done it before?
No, but that's why I feel like I like that they think that we might be experts.
think-
Have you done before?
Yeah.
I mainly fly Ryanair, Wizz Air, so low cost. I don't
It'd be
really
hard
want...
to do it in Wizz Air. I once blocked a Wizz Air toilet. I had a massive shit on Wizz Air.
Oh, God.
And I had a gig in Romania. I was flying to Romania.
And you
On
blocked.
Wizz Air, and I had like
What
it
did
was
you
an
do?
early morning. It was an early morning flight, and
Was the flight busy or just...
no, it was like half full, and it was like 7:30 in the morning. I don't know, very early morning flight.
Do you say anything to the flight attendant?
No, but it was like I was flushing, and like it just would not. I'm like, you know what, I'm leaving this. So I imagine it's the sort of like that somebody, because it was only half full, people would. That's sort of like that would be great to join the Mile High Club on, but just so my piece of advice is make sure no one's had a monster shit in the toilet beforehand.
I'm not an expert. I would say... I think you can easily catch STD on an airplane, even without
sure.
having sex with anyone. So that's
for
probably,
sure.
Yeah. So that's I don't know if it counts as a
Anytime you've ever been on an Alitalia flight, wherever you're sitting.
in my experience, near the flight attendants are next to the toilet.
In your experience of joining the Mile High Club, okay.
No,
Your
I'm
experience,
saying
flight attendant.
in experience of flying,
Yeah.
there's always the
There's
flight
always a
attendant.
flight
So
attendant near the toilet.
how do you?
Not always.
They would notice if you enter
on long haul
interconnect. Yes,
long
intercontinental
haul flights. Is
Okay.
very different.
So you wait for everyone to be asleep or something
you
like
wait
that
for
when they
everyone
have
to sleep, and
the.
like there's always like the toilets in the middle of the cabin, isn't there?
Oh yes.
You go for them.
But then the problem is, when do you leave? How do you? Because when you open the door, what if someone is waiting and then they can count up to 2, even if they are not really bright? But
Yeah.
you see a person, another person. That will make. At this point,
I mean, I don't think that's a problem. I think passengers. If you were to be on a plane, you're on a plane. You're going to, I don't know, Kuala Lumpur, and
if I see 2 people coming, I would use that as an excuse to get an upgrade to the. Oh, this is outrageous. I want first class now. Everyone wants.
oh, I'm
Excuse
sure.
for an upgrade.
I don't think people would mind. I mean, like, just as long as there isn't like things, just as long as it isn't sticky inside. I once had a wank on a plane, but because when I was 15.
This doesn't count. Well, it can't.
I wanted to join them out. Like it was like you see, it's like a bit of a porn fantasy, right?
Yeah, but
And I was on a plane, and from Australia. I was flying from Australia, and I decided that I really wanted to. I really wanted,
never have a flight with you.
and I really wanted. It was like I really wanted to, but there was no way. Like nobody wanted to
Did you ask her? Like,
Nobody wanted to have like I should
you
have
got
done
the
an
flight
announcement.
attendant. So, what do you want? Tea, coffee? Well, let's see. Are you married? Are you single? Because I would really like to. I have points of high flight.
There must be a like the Make-A-Wish Foundation for kids who are sick.
Oh God.
There must be an equivalent for kids who just want to.
Maybe if you had in the miles club, like I have a lot of miles. Can I get a?
Yeah, Emirates. This should be one of your.
Well, yes, Emirates. Of course, they are so open-minded about. Yes. Maybe Virgin, despite the name, that looks more transgressive. However.
Anyway, so I was on this flight and I had a wank. Basically, I was 15, and I ejaculated just as the plane was flying over Tokyo.
How do you even know that?
Because then I wanted to know where we were. So then I quickly ran to my seat and saw that you can see on the map. You have the map on there.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I was over Japan. I ejaculated in Japanese airspace. I've never been to Japan, but I have ejaculated in Japanese airspace.
Apologies to the Japanese. Okay, yes. Okay, so this doesn't count as a Mile Island Club. This is more like a sort of
It's more
voluntary
like
entry. But
payback for Pearl Harbor.
like, well, you're not even American, so there's no. Okay, but. So you had.
So anyway, so that's as far as I've got. But you've never done.
No,
it.
never. Just my only concern is when I use the toilet in the plane that there's a turbulence or something. So
Yeah.
you need to,
So you might come
Yeah,
without
just-
realizing.
No, you might
Too
just
much
stop.
turbulence. So advice we're saying: don't do it on Wizz Air or cheap airlines.
Intercontinental flight. That would be nice.
Big intercontinental flights in the middle, in the toilets in the middle.
Yeah, open-minded are flights. So I wouldn't go with don't fly in Saudi Arabia doing this.
Yeah,
Probably
don't do it in Saudi
that's penalty
Arabia.
for that. And then
Just have fun with it, and wash your hands after.
okay, I'm saying something very bad.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just saying. I just realized let's say if the flight is,
We should have
I'm
it
not,
shot.
I don't sponsor what I'm saying, and it's not me. I've been hacked by.
if something's
it's not
happening
me.
to Luca, he's changing. We're
No,
changing.
I'm just thinking. Why the toilet? If there's no many people on the passengers and they are kind of asleep and you are,
Ew.
they give you on an intercontinental flight a blanket.
They do give you a blanket.
So
So,
if you can be very quick,
and what are they going to do? They can't kick you out of the plane, can they?
they can arrest you when you land. Probably.
They can arrest
but
you.
yes.
That's true. They can arrest you when you land. So anyway, so basically,
But you will
either
be a
do it-
legend.
You will be a legend. You'll be our. But you have changed.
No, I'm
this is
just
episode 2.
I'm vicariously.
This is just episode 2.
So, I'm not endorsing this.
Yeah.
I won't feel bad if you get arrested after that, because you listen to my podcast, I would say no. I said don't do it. But if you do it,
But you're a legend if you do.
we can have the first people that goes to jail because listen to
Because
our
of
podcast.
Hornfessions. There
Imagine
you
the
go.
publicity. I will just say no, don't do it. But if you do,
He wants you to.
don't do it.
So good
Send
luck.
picture if you do
basically.
it. There's some very exclusive class, like you can have a shower in some airplane.
Yeah, there you go.
So that probably.
So why not have sex?
And then light a cigarette just after. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. They keep putting ashtrays on airplane. I never understood why there are ashtrays.
To wank into, Luca, for your semen.
Okay.
That's why they do that. And that is that. Well done, Luca.
I think so. Yeah.
Well done. That's episode 2 in the bag. Ending with. I'm glad that we've got a kind of a wide a wide.
What did you there?
No.
Long.
A wide. No, not long. Let me finish the sentence. A wide array of different stories.
Yes, the first episode was many days ago. We had mainly people messing
wanting
with
to have
vegetables
sex
and
with
cars.
food, yeah. I was going to say animals. So please keep sending in your stories, or I mean, if you want advice, we're obviously the people.
Oh
that
yes, we
give
won't judge you.
We won't judge you, and we obviously got such a history ourselves of sexual conquest that we can give you any sorts of advice that you want, anything you need.
I've read many books and I've seen many movies, so
So I'm not going to say goodbye today. I'm just going to say chin chin.
that was the ending of Colpo Grosso.
Yeah,
Yes,
look it up, everybody. And,
Yeah,
yeah,
yes.
you can look it up. I'm on a Colpo Grosso on Facebook. I'm on a Colpo Grosso fan page. So So yeah,
Yeah.
join, jump in, let's have some fun. And we'll see you again soon. Send in messages, hornfessions@gmail.com, or send in anonymous confessions on the questionnaire. Anything you want to say, Luca?
Have a safe flight. Keep your seatbelt fastened, and unless you're doing that thing.
Yeah. Chin chin. Bye.
Bye.
Forgive me, boys, for I have sinned.
You're an idiot.
Say the size and say the shape.
Unlike you dirty
I
pervert.
know about redemption. I would look for revenge.
They ate the lasagna.
They're very weird.
Hornfessions, the Horny Confessions podcast.